But this kid who thinks he's better than me for whatever reason, the moment he saw me, he was like, no. He says, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to try my hand at a story time. I was like scrolling through TikTok the other day and I am like so obsessed with TikTok and I love it. And like I came across this girl who's like telling story times of like all these bad dates that she's been on, and I was like, that just like hits way too close to home, because I spent like a good 6 months of my life like serial dating and serial swiping on Tinder, looking for my next love of my life. And you're probably gonna be like, why would you go on Tinder to do that? And you were totally valid in asking that question, because I don't know, it was laziness. I don't know, I didn't want to like be outdoors. I don't know. I've got 2 stories for you today, but before we get started, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. My first story begins, I matched with this guy on Tinder, so we're like talking, and I mean, he actually like turned out to be like pretty normal. So I meet up with this guy. Our plan was to do some mini golf at this mall. I meet him at the mall, and it's about like early afternoon, and I actually hadn't eaten like all day just because I had a really busy morning. So I go up to him and we like hug and stuff, exchange names, make sure we're meeting the right person. And then I was like, hey, so I'm actually like starving, could we go get something to eat, because I don't want to pass out while we're playing mini golf. And he's like, yeah, of course. So we're walking around, we choose a restaurant, and I'm looking at the menu. It's a fast casual, so like think like Panera, just kind of ordering off this thing. They had like a special seasonal like side that they were doing, and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good, we should get that. But then he's like, if you know what you want, then you can go ahead. And I was like, oh, because in my head, that was basically him being like, don't ever expect for me to pay for anything ever. I was like, cool. And it's not like I need people to like pay for things or I expect that or anything, but I just know like the type of person that I am in a relationship with someone that I really love, and I am like so generous, you know, and I never stop giving, and I have no problem paying for their things if they need that. So the fact that he said that, and I feel like it was the way that he said it too, that just really said to me that I should never expect any type of like handout or gift from him ever. So I was like, okay. Paid for my things, we ate, everything's fine, and then we go do the mini golf. We go there and we're like we'd like to do mini golf, and the attendant definitely made it super awkward, because she was like, so who's paying for this? And I think she was like a young like teenage girl, not the most professionalism. I kid you not, this kid is like, oh, I guess I will. And I was like, there we go again. I think I can officially call that a red flag now. I've seen it twice within this 1 hour that I've been with you, and obviously there's like some kind of thing with like paying for other people or women or dates maybe that he's just got a really big thing against. But we do the date, I leave, and then literally like not even 5 minutes later, he texts me saying how much he likes me and he would love to go on another date. Well, that's a surprise to me, considering like how closed off you seemed. And I know this is like my mistake, but I was like so caught off guard that I was like, yeah, totally cool. And we made plans. for like the next week. As the days were approaching, he really like wouldn't stop texting me. He would text me and then like we'd have a conversation and it would kind of like naturally drop off, and then he would text me like 30 minutes later just being like, so what's up, what's new, what's going on? And I'm like, I'm at work still, same as I was like 30 minutes ago. And I just like, I couldn't keep doing that, you know, like it was driving me crazy. I was like, I really don't like this guy. Like, he just rubbed me the wrong way. He was kind of rude. I just decided to ghost him because I'm obviously super mature. He keeps texting me. Eventually, I think he gets it. Day of the second date rolls around and I think I'm in the clear, but I look at his Snapchat story and he posts like a rant on there and he's like, oh, I'm having the worst day ever. I had to like work out on the floor of Target today because he usually works in the back. And what would have been my date for tonight, I'm pretty sure she ghosted me. I was like, dude, I was getting called out. This is hilarious. And so of course I wanted to like screenshot it and send it to my friends, but I know that like Snapchat sends the person a notification if you screenshot something. So I thought I was being sneaky and I screen recorded it. But little did I know that Snapchat still sends that person a notification. So I sent it to my friends. We had a good laugh about it. And not even like 10 minutes later, this kid sent me a paragraph long message being like, just so you know, that is like super rude of you to like ghost me like that. I would have understood if you changed your mind. And like, I am just so sick and tired of this stuff happening. I was hoping that this was gonna be a new year where this wouldn't happen anymore. And I was just like, do you like not understand this is exactly why I ghosted you? Because of this type of retaliation. You obviously couldn't take no for an answer. Here you are like arguing with me about it. You couldn't freaking leave me alone. Once again, being the very mature adult that I am, I just didn't respond to that. I screenshotted it again and sent it to my friends. And that's the end of that story. For my second worst date story, I matched with this other guy on Tinder. Surprise, surprise. We got to talking and we actually made plans to like go out for a walk. I was kind of like learning my lesson and I was like, these like intricately planned dates are not working out if there's like a zero spark, but you know, yet I have to go through with it, i.e. the mini golf date. So I was like, let's just go on a walk. We made a plan for a day, but then that day actually ended up being one of like the coldest days of the year. It was like -20 or -40, something awful like that. You're probably being like, why did you make a plan to go on a walk in the middle of winter anyways? But it's like, here in Minnesota where I live, it's winter like what, 8-9 months out of the year, something crazy like that. So it's just like, you just learn to live with it. And of course on that day he's like, I don't think we should be walking outside, and I'm like, no problem. But then he like never rescheduled and I was like, okay, cool, maybe he wasn't that into me, whatever, that's done. But then one day, like a month or so later, I'm like posting a cute selfie of myself and then this guy like slides into my DMs again and he's like, hey, I think that we should hang out. And so I was already like, well, I know how this goes. We actually like made plans to have dinner. I go to have dinner with him and he got there before me, so he went ahead and got a table. Immediately when I sat down with this guy, I could just tell, I think we could both tell, it was not gonna work. I don't know. Actually, I changed my mind on that. I think he could tell it was not gonna work. I don't even know if I should say that. I think that he just decided it wasn't gonna work. And then so immediately I could feed off that energy and I was like, well, he thinks it's not gonna work, so what's obviously not gonna work because he already just shut it down. To this day, I think about it, I still don't even like know what went wrong. What happened? I literally felt like I sat down, I saw him give me the up down, and then he was just like, maybe I'm like catfishing too much and I just don't look like the picture, or but I was just kind of like, all right. But me being who I am, I tried to make the best of it that I could, but considering that he felt this way from the beginning and we still had to order, wait for our food, eat it, and then pay and leave, it was so painful, you guys. It was so painful. I was trying at first to, you know, be cheery, ask him some questions. He would give me like one-word answers or just like really like vanilla, like vague answers. Like he was done. He decided that he was done. He was not gonna try. Like, it's over. You can only do this so much, you know. I'm having like a one-sided conversation with this guy and he's giving me nothing. But it's not like I was, like super hurt over it either. Like, this guy, he looked like Tom Hanks. Eventually, I just like gave up and I was just like silent. And let me tell you, that made it like so much more awkward. But it was fine because I was like, well, now I am like a willing participant. Before I wasn't. Before it felt like I was being tortured, but it's like, no, let's torture the both of us. Let's do this. You want to do it? We can do it. Even he could feel that it was even more awkward now. So after a couple minutes, he tried asking me a question and he was literally like, so do you have any hobbies? Like, shoulder shrug and all. Like, that is the best he could do. So do you have any hobbies? Like, I'm some sort of like horrible like robot person. He couldn't even imagine me having hobbies. Like, it was so bad, you guys. And I was just like, yeah, I do have some hobbies. But this isn't even like the worst part. We like get through this horrible, painful dinner. We get our check and he doesn't reach for his wallet and I didn't reach for mine either because I was like, hell no, I am not paying for this kid's food. So we just both sit there and we just stare at it. We just stare at the little like folder thing in silence. I even like excused myself to go to the bathroom, sit in there for like a couple minutes too. And I come back and it's still like, it's still there. And there's no card in it. It's not like I like wanted him to pay, but if it's not a connection, like it's cool, you know, and like let's split it. But like he didn't even reach for his wallet. So I didn't want to just reach for mine, put my card in, and then have the waitress think that, you know, that's the one and she puts the entire bill on there. Eventually the waitress comes back and she takes the thing, realizes that there's no card in there, and she's like, oh, are you guys still thinking about it, or do you want to split? Oh my god. And I'm of course like, yes, split it. But this kid who thinks he's better than me for whatever reason, the moment he saw me, he was like, no. He says, we're still thinking about it. We're still thinking about it. You won't even like have a conversation with me. We're still thinking about it? No, we're not thinking about it. We're not thinking about it. But luckily the waitress heard me say split it, so she takes it, splits it, brings it back, and for some reason now his hands seem to be able to work, and he takes his wallet out with his card, puts it on his bill. I take out my card and put it on my bill. But just like the audacity. The audacity! we're still thinking about it. I am still thinking about this whole situation, and I still just like cannot compute what happened, or like what he was like, what was gonna happen from that. Like, I'm pretty sure he like dead ass wanted me to pay for his meal. Like, what else? What else would he be like thinking about? Like, what else would he mean by that? Ugh. So obviously that was the very first and last date that I had with this guy. I don't know what he was still thinking about. Maybe you guys have some ideas. Definitely let me know. I can't. Whew. So those are 2 of my worst date stories. I definitely have some more. Let me know if you'd like to hear them. Even if you don't, I'll probably just still make them anyways, because I'm really bored and I have nothing else to do. Thank you so much for tuning in. Share some of your worst first date stories. Leave a comment down below, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.